look at the traffic. All these people moving in, all these people trying to get into this area. It's gridlock. It's bumper to bumper. Look at this traffic. Hold on. Hey guys, Wheatywaffle here today, and we are back in City Skylines 2 playing our city of Walden. And in between parts, I did a few small things. First things first, I saw your comments, specifically Ben, B8K4M, and Jailer Jeff Peloton. I hope I've pronounced your guys' names correctly, but you guys suggested we put some kind of trees or something, like anything to make these look less concrete. So I did place down some pine trees in both of these. That way they stay green even in wintertime. So hopefully these look nice. I like them. I thought about putting a little grass in between. That was just such a project that I was not interested in exploring that, in between parts. I also went ahead, did a little bit of work right here in the middle. I added in a parking road here to support the hotel, which, by the way, very profitable. We love to see it. I added trees to a lot of the roads in here, so we didn't have as much road parking since everyone has driveways. Cleaned up this area a bit. We didn't need all those trees here. It also frees up a future lot in case we decide to use this for something. And I added in just a touch of detailing here around the train depot. So we've just got a little bit of foliage, and we've got a little surface here. I put some trash bags and some rubble. Nothing wild. Nothing wild. Oh, and I also placed these 3 buildings. These are from the Eastern European pack. I just felt they looked really nice together. So that's kind of everything in between. Then I did 2 other small things, which was give this area its own district. We're calling it Forsythia. And then I named this area Cargo City, which is our industrial area for this section of the build. So we've got an industrial area here, and then we have an industrial area over here. Okay, so that covers all the things I did in between parts. Oh, and I also put this little surface. It's just a touch, a little something. But now that we've done all that, it's time to look into what we're going to do today. Now, I know that in the next part, I want to work on this highway and get this highway connected up so that Cargo City has a reasonable connection out of the city. I don't exactly know how we're going to build that yet, but for now, that's on the docket for next week. For this week, though, I think I want to build out Forsythia. This is kind of the last town in this area because all of this is going to be industrial. I imagine most of this here is probably going to be industrial, at least this corner. This area could be a touristy area. It's far enough away from all this, but all of this here is an industrial corridor. And if we look at our natural resources, you can see that we've got a decent section here of fertile land, and then we also have ore back here. So both of these we're going to want to tap into, but I don't want to tap into this yet until we move the highway. Because once the highway's in place, this can become our farming area. Then we can take over this farming area and continue to expand our city outwards. Now, I will say, in clicking on natural resources, I can see that these areas are starting to have less and less oil. So let's look. This has 10,000. If we move into these areas, we get down to 7,000. That's 8,000. Then this white area, we get down all the way to 6,000. So there's still oil here, but it is slowly being used, which is good to know. So eventually we'll have to decommission this oil industry. All right, so let's figure out how we're going to lay out Forsythia. First things first is we need a road layout. Now, this is not going to be, I think, as nice of a neighborhood as Emerson. I think it's going to be more like Kent. It's going to, get the job done. It's going to do what it's got to do, but it's not going to be anything to write home about. If I was just to go right here at the 90 and connect straight up into here, it creates a little block. I think this would be a great parking lot for the people that work here at the, what is this called? The solar power plant. But let's figure out how we want to lay all of this out. All right. Now, I'm not going to be crossing over into Emerson. Your entrance to Emerson is over here, and you also have this entrance right here. So there's no reason for me to worry about finding connections into that area. I do want to be mindful of how I laid out these districts. If I can just look at what I've done here, we've kind of got a connection right here where there would be a natural end of one district into the next. So I want to try to follow that if I can. Is there a district button here? I don't recall. Yeah, I don't actually think there's a district button here. So we're going to have to do our best. Right where the letter P for Pearl Street is, it's going to curve down and we follow the contour lines. Oh, but see, look, we lose the letter P. Oh my goodness. How does that stack up on our district? Okay, not terrible. Not terrible. Let's actually move the district so that it is sitting here along Lavender Street. The reason I'm doing that is I do think this little nub here, this area is going to stay industrial in some respect to kind of connect to the back of the port. I wouldn't want to have houses right here against a port because that's ridiculous. And if we look at noise pollution too, yeah, this kind of hides that noise pollution from anybody living over here. Now, let's figure out what this road layout looks like. We've got this flat area here. And I do want to use that to my advantage. I'm going to take a road straight on out. We're going to send that right here. And I also think that I want to use these kind of American style row homes. And I think we're going to have a few of them here. But they could go back, 1, 2, 3, 4. If I was to go here, what would I get? I would have 6. So we'd have 3 and 3. Yeah, we can make 3 and 3 work. We'll do 3 and 3 there. We'll do another connection right here. Do 3 and 3 along there. And then do we leave this open? I think we might. If we have houses along both sides here, we've got a lot of houses there. We can put a business or two there. That works for me. Then we come along here. We start to get into the hill. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to, I think, follow as close as I can to our power line. And then I think I'm going to extend some of these over. So we'll have this guy here. We'll do another 3x3 right here. And we'll do one more right here. Right? So there's all of that there, kind of connecting those two areas. They're not perfectly straight. That's great. And I wonder if what we do is we upgrade this so that we've got a two-way road coming down this way, but then we have a two-way road going down this way on the opposing side. Actually, I'm going to build it. I think I'm going to build it this way, like this. Boom. And then right in the middle of that is that power line. Yeah, I like that because we're starting to transition from commercial, from a small town area and residential buildings. I want to figure out how we convert that into an industrial section, and that's what we have to figure out is how do we get that transition to work, and how do we make it look nice? Look like it was supposed to be like that. I'm gonna get rid of this curve, and instead I think I am going to send this road straight along and straight up and in. I'm trying to kind of keep a grid, but also be mindful that I don't want everything to look exactly the same. If this was to come out, I wouldn't want this to connect and become a cut through. But we could send a road from here. Oh, you know what? Send this road straight out. Send this road straight out at the 90. Just like so. We can give this a little roundabout. Maybe we do a medium. Nothing fancy to it, though. Do a little medium roundabout. And then I think we kind of fill this in similar to what we did with Emerson, where we've got a few roads that dead end that have little cul-de-sacs on them. Because all around this is relatively flat, right? And with a good tree line here, this could easily become its own little neighborhood. I think I'm actually going to leave this area somewhat open. We're challenging ourselves to do that. Let's give all of these little cul-de-sacs, right? So then there's kind of two parts to Forsythia. You've got the section here at the front that's going to be a bit more dense, and then you have the single-family homes here at the back. I think I should also kind of match that along the backside here. So this two-way road, or this one-lane road, one-way road will become a two-way road right here. And maybe actually connect all the way around. If I was just to send this straight on up and then get rid of this little extra piece, we could then, right at that intersection is where this would end. If I send this straight on up, we're going to have to cut some of this out. So just hold on. We're going to place this straight here. We're going to connect right here. And if I connect right here at the 90, It's not perfect. If I go here at the 90, that's better. That's better. I might honestly even keep this little section here. Now, this might not be residential. I don't know what's going to go there yet. Part of me thinks it would be valuable to have some batteries that connect to this Forsythia power station. We have a battery backup, increases the battery capacity and output of the station. We don't need more output. If there's anything we have more than enough output. This also, the panels automatically turn to keep positioning at the sun, increasing the effectiveness of energy production. I mean, if I recall, we're doing just fine on production. Yeah, we're doing just fine on production. So I think we're going to leave that alone. Now, right here in the middle, I am going to right off the bat turn this into the same forestry industry that is used right here in the middle of the train station, or the train track and the road. I think that just looks nice. Yeah, that's perfect. We've got two like little new neighborhoods. We've got multiple entrances here, so that's not acting as a cul-de-sac. Yeah, I think we're ready to build this. Let's go to Platter. And we are going to switch over to NA medium density row housing. I want to send this 3 back. And let's see. I'm essentially going to try to build this. Like, you're going to be facing the power plant. That just is what it is. Nothing's going to change that. We're going to have some buildings facing out, just like that. Okay. Along this one-way road, do I do the same? I don't actually know if I do the same. I don't think anyone would live along the one-way road. How's that? If I just decide we're not doing it. If I connect this right up into here, connect this right behind. We might even destroy any demand we have for this, which I'm actually not mad about. Fill all that in. So now we're going to get all of this development here. I think this section here also needs the same treatment for this to make sense. So we're going to place this guy here, place 3 here, reduce that down. I want this to be along this road. Turn everything off except for this. There we go. And then if I send this out a little bit further, there we go. All right, so all of that is going to become medium density. We don't even have demand for all of that. If I was to go to high density, EE low rent housing, and I was to place some of these here, let's see. If I was to go like this and maybe do something like a 5-3, maybe we do, can I get 3 of them in here? If I place one there, can I sneak one in the middle? Not really, but I could sneak a 4-3. I kind of want them all to be the same, but hold on. That could be some kind of park. And right here we have like this development where all these very similar buildings were placed. It's going to totally destroy any demand we have for high density. That's fine with me. We've got all this medium density. We do need some jobs in this area. I am thinking this might not have any education. Now, I think Cranberry Street could be kind of the main drag here. If I was to come along and just go, honestly, what if I just filled this whole section? Let it fill in how it wanted. That's Cranberry Street. That's the main road for this area. We could even consider putting some parking in front of it. If I upgraded this, could I do that? Yeah. Yeah. We're going to put parking right here along this section of Cranberry Street. We also need some office buildings. It's not really a great place for office, but we're going to place a few anyway. Right here, I was thinking this could become some kind of park. Here, instead of doing that, let's do this. Let's shift over to doing our other neighborhood. I am gonna do a different style than this. I think I'm gonna use the Southwest, and the reason for that is I want to have a little bit of variation in the 2 different neighborhoods. Now, show contour lines. I'm not seeing the contour lines, but that's okay. We're gonna ignore that. Let's just slap down a bunch of buildings over here. And we've got a slew of businesses here. That's perfect. We've got all of this development, which is great. Now, let me look at this here. Yeah, so here's what I want to do. I want to take this colorway from this one, I think. Can I just grab the color here? Lock this. Oh, these don't actually have a color. Well, that kind of sucks. We're just going to let them be then. They can do whatever they want. They're a little bit different. I really just want them all to be the same. Hold on, let's do this. Let's grab this. We're just going to place it ourselves. So there's like this little development where they're all identical. And I'm going to lock all these at level 1. I don't think there's any reason to have them be something higher than that. Now, these would need some kind of parking lot. If I am looking at our contour lines, there is a bit of a hill here, but there could easily be a parking lot right here that is, you know, earmarked for the residents of this community here, right? We have a parking lot right along this main road. That's way too big. So I think it's something like this. And then we can just blend it in and make it look like it belongs, right? Just like so. So like it's almost like a drive off. We'll put a fence around it. We'll put some trees. We'll make it seem like it's intentional. But so that connects to these guys. All right. We've got all these low density houses here. We've got a strip of business. I do want to have some type of office in here. I think this right here is a parking lot. I wonder if the office goes right here behind these buildings. I did not mean for it to be that. So let's go ahead and just get rid of all that. Yeah, one big building here. Perfect, perfect. Little wonkiness happening with our train. Just ignore it. And then I think over here we need a gas station. So let's go over here. We're going to do gas. And I'm looking for something kind of substantial. If I scroll down here, we've got some level 5s. I don't want a level 5. I'd be fine building a level 3. I just want it to be quite big. There's a 4x3 here. I wouldn't want it to be on the one-way road. So maybe it would be right here on this two-way road. Right? We've got a little gas station there. We've got all these little homes. It's looking pretty nice. Looking pretty nice. This needs a tree line. That's going to help protect this neighborhood. It looks different from this, but it was all kind of bought, you know, by the same developer. They built out that area. This is not the greatest place to live over here, but you're right next to a power plant. I think we would have some kind of tree, but it would have to be a tree that doesn't get very tall along the side of this road. That was an agreement that was made when they put in this power plant. They were like, yeah, we'll put trees there. They can't be super big because they can't block out. Even this, though, doesn't block it out. So it's going to be these oaks. Big enough that it protects the people living here from having to see this so much, but it doesn't block the solar panels themselves. I think right here, I want to build my own parking lot for this. This is going to be a parking lot for the solar power plant. And I'm just going to do what we've been doing. I have no issue with using these perpendicular parking alleys. I like the one-ways. We bring a road up. We bring it over. Bring it up. Bring it down. I think we just fill this whole area, right? And we can even... Well, no, I'm not going to use that one-way road because I can't control the parking on that, which I do find a little irritating. Still haven't figured out how to use these parking tiles. I've given up. If I'm being honest, I've given up. If somebody wants to link me to a tutorial, I'm more than happy to look at it. I just am overwhelmed by it and don't really feel like learning it. If someone else can teach me, I'm more than happy to learn that way, but me doing it myself is just not happening. All right, I'm going to move these guys over. There we go. Yes, we've got this little corner building here. I really wish it was rotated the other way, but we're gonna just vibe with it. That is what it is. Now, this area is absolutely going to need a little bit of road cover. Unlike the university, I am not going to put any trees in here. This is a parking lot for a power plant. Do you think there would need to be some kind of business over here? Like all the people living here, I guess they can drive over this way and like here's a business strip. Is that enough though? Are we happy with just that? I could see like having... Where is the ones I'm thinking of? There are Japan, Southwest. The Southwest businesses. If I bring this in one, gives me more than enough room for trees around both those sides. Maybe we bring these back a little bit and we have some businesses all through here. And if I was to go like this, we'd get something a little larger. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see what we get. We'll get a few businesses right here along Vermont Street. And actually, before they even build, let's just go like this. Get rid of anything that's not working. Expand this all the way out. Get rid of that. We're getting 2 buildings now. And I'll even get rid of this. Nope, it's going to stay the same. That's fine. What if instead this is just something like this? It's going to delete all these buildings again, isn't it? It's not. All right, let's do that. Let's do that. Hold on. We're going to put grass and trees in the middle. I wouldn't mind using these, but they can't be that big. And if we lock their height, that works just fine. We're going to pretend it gets a little nice over here. It doesn't really, but we're going to pretend it does. I definitely don't want parking on these roads either, so we got to figure that out. But we've got people dying, so let's look at our services and see what's happening over here. First things first, I do think the police station that's right over here, we've got people patrolling. I think this is going to work in Kent, Emerson, Emerson University, Forsythia, and Cargo City. All of these are going to be serviced by this police station. I do wonder if adding in an extra patrol car makes sense. So I think we're just going to go ahead and do that. There's also... there's a lot of people moving in, so that's causing some of this traffic. There's also a firehouse over here somewhere. Can I find it? Here it is. The firehouse, we can add additional vehicles. I don't think we need that just yet. But again, this is going to function here in Kent, Emerson, Emerson University, Forsythia, and Cargo City. So that is great. Then we've got this medical center. This is already functioning in these 3 areas. We'll let it function in Forsythia and Cargo City. And then we have a UK parish church. Now, this is functioning in these 2 areas. If someone dies at Emerson University, we would have to pick them up as well. I think there would be a separate death care facility for this area. Let's look at our options here. I've not actually built the NL cemetery, the Netherlands cemetery. I could see that going maybe back here, right? I mean, it's not an ideal spot for it, but if it's right back here, we can then expand it. Let's build this. Let's select Forsythia. We'll also let this serve Cargo City in case anyone dies while out there at work. I like how dense it looks, like how all the plots are super close together. How many people can go here? 3,260. I almost want to keep it, but I think I want to move it right here, and I want to just place a road around it. We're gonna like box it in. If I just go right here at the 90, use the straight tool. Bam, right at the 90, right there. And then we'll do the same thing right here. Bam. Then I want to get rid of all of these unnecessary crosswalks. We do not need any of these. We could consider adding some additional burial sites back here. There we go. There's the cemetery. It's ready to work in Forsythia and Cargo City. It's going to be able to probably be there for the whole game and never get full. Like, that's pretty decent. All right, this is almost wrapped up. What does this all look like? This looks good. It's like a little strip mall. Little strip mall. We do have some weird asset just floating in the sky here. I don't think that's supposed to be up there, but you're making money, which is a great thing to see. If I was to go like this, and I came in here, and I just wanted to get rid of this signage, just the individual one, let's do that, because now it looks a lot better. Yeah, we don't have this weird floating thing. We've got a convenience food market over here. This is going to serve pharmaceuticals. Okay, yeah, this is the little strip this neighborhood needed. Now I think what we got to do, we've done healthcare, we've done death care. Garbage is processing fine, and even up here, like, I mean, everybody here is serviced. There's nothing that's not green, so I think that's okay. I'm gonna skip putting a school over here. I don't think I want one. I want to leave it be. We've got fire, we have police, but we don't have an administration building, and I think that's something we can actually put here, a welfare office. Let's go ahead and purchase the tile for that. Let's look at our options here, because some of these are really big. We have the Chinese community kindergarten. Now we could get down with the kindergarten over here. I'm into that. That's not a bad idea. An EE welfare office. We have the Japanese health and welfare office. We have the welfare office, like base game. This is quite large, a little bit bigger than I want. And then a citizen service center. I don't need that. Let's do, honestly, the EE welfare office is kind of a great size. It's not too big. It fits right in there really nicely. Gives us another parking lot. I think we're going to just let it service these areas and like let's see what it does. No guarantee it's going to work, but I'm happy with it as it is. You do have this train station here. You'd have to walk kind of far to get to this connection. The question, I guess, now is, do we have bike infrastructure over here? And I think we would. I almost want to take the bike infrastructure over this way and send it straight up here to... Actually, right up here to here. I can't send it along here because we have this parking road. But if I send it along this way, we now have bike infrastructure that goes all the way up through this area and connects to the cargo port, which currently employs 95 people. So that's great. We probably need some bike parking. Look at me trying to remember all the things we got to do. I think we're getting there. We are getting there. I think I could get into... Can I? I can. All right. We're going to place some bike parking right here. So it's close to our power station. I think I'm also going to place a little bike parking maybe right here next to this neighborhood. All of these buildings. If I was to grab a medium bicycle stand... Doesn't actually tell me how many people stay in each of these. Or should we just place one kind of right off the side of a building? No, I don't like that. I think it's too much infrastructure for this area. I think I would just rather have small little straight here of bike parking. Then we've got the downtown corridor area. This is not going to get, I think, those types of bike parking. But we could have some bike parking kind of, right out here in front of these shops. Maybe have some more over here in front of these shops. Have a few over here. Right? Just give it a little bit of something. Make that a lively corridor. We already have a lot of people walking here, which is great. And now, speaking of walking, we probably should look at doing some... Oh, I haven't even built this overpass yet. Do we want to build one of these overpasses? Kind of leading over to here? Into this area? Let's do it. I've not actually seen what this looks like yet. I want this to go right here. Right? We've got this little overpass. Now the passengers can, or the pedestrians can walk right on over. And then I can remove... Sorry about the siren. That is a loud siren. I can remove that crosswalk. Look at all these people moving in, coming in this way. Tons of people leaving the train, walking over this direction. This poor car is just waiting patiently for his chance. Is there anywhere else we feel like we need it? I don't actually know if there is. This is too low density for me to include that over there. All right, let's do the rest of the paths then, now that we're looking at it. So right here, we have an opportunity for a path. Could it be a... No, it could not, so we're just going to skip that idea. Let's not connect to the side of a building, and let's not connect to the zonable tiles. But we're just going to send a path right through here. Okay. All of this doesn't really need a path per se. I could get down with having a path maybe right along this way, just to kind of cut through this a little bit quicker. If I turn all this off and I just send it out straight. There we go. So we've made obviously a little area there for, I don't know, really anything. Ooh, not going to work, not going to work. If I was to move this over and back, I want to make sure there's enough room for paths to get through here. But I don't want to use anarchy, you know me. I'm not feeling like anarchy's necessary. I got to find a way to make that a reality. We're going to send this out. We're going to send this out. I think this should be able to curve right into there like that. We can't get through there. That's okay. We don't need to. But that gives us some nice coverage here. Gives people opportunities to cut through over to the Crosswind Street. All right. Do I want one here? I don't know if I do. I think actually what I want back here is an alleyway. Like if I was to place an alleyway right here along the back, for some reason it wrecked that building. Don't know why. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to grab this building and we're going to place it down ourselves. Because I do like having that there on the corner. And really this is so that we could put in some additional parking, but I'm actually thinking it's going to have parking already on its own. So what we can just do with this is pull out all of these surfaces. Make it feel like the rear loading road. Just like this. Bam, bam, bam. And send that over. All right, what else does this area need? I haven't really done any surface work here or here. Does this area need pathing? I think it could benefit from it. Like, I don't see why not, right? If we were to do the continuous curve, there's got to be some areas where we could sneak a path in. Like, if I was right here, can I get it to connect to the road without breaking anything? I actually don't know if I can. I don't know if I left enough room for there to be paths. Nope. I don't know if I left room for that. We will not. I was going to say we'd put a path right here, but we can't even fit a path in there. No paths for you. None. We've got all these services. We don't have transportation done yet. We do need to do that. Let's come back to that. Let's look at doing some kind of parks in this area. Now, right here, we have this little triangle. And I do think having a little something here would be great. The problem we're going to have is I don't know if anything can actually fit over here. Very few things can. What is this? An urban parquet. There's also this like covered park that we could place over here. I mean, honestly, the urban parquet, can I do that and not stick it to the road and just place it like this? Okay, hold on. Hold on. If I rotate it, does that connect up? There we go. That works. And then we just take this surface, fill this whole area. There we go. So we got a little park there. It's mainly concrete. That's okay. This area is going to need something. I can't really fit a park in the middle there, but we could place some props. I could put a gazebo. We could do the tried and true. Just slap one of these down. I think it would be a wooden one, though. There we go. Put some grass in there. That'll look nice. We definitely need trees. And then we need a post office. Now, I do have this post office. It's already assigned to these 3 districts. I think I would also assign it here and here in Cargo City. Technically, you guys are outside of Cargo City. So maybe Cargo City. Or you're outside of Forsythia. So Forsythia need to actually come around this way. If I remove all of this... There we go. Now you guys are technically a part of Forsythia, which is what we want to say. Okay, so we got a little park there. We don't have any parks over here in this neighborhood. And I would want something. What if we just did like a small little tennis court or a little something over here? Like what's the ground look like? Pretty flat. We could have a little tennis court here at the front, or better yet, we could build a little community pool kind of right here at the beginning. Right at the entrance of the neighborhood, we have a community pool. I'm a fan. And that absolutely covers this whole area. So now you guys have more than enough parks. Okay? Last but not least, we need to do communication. So we do have a post office. We don't have post boxes, though. So let's figure out where these would go. Although this is right here, I do think I'd want to have a post box kind of right here in the middle of Kent. Oh, you know what? I'm going to close this. We're going to place a post box right here in the middle of town. And we'll place one kind of over here near the train station area. Maybe on this corner. Okay, so that more than enough covers this section. And we could actually place one maybe over here by the school. Maybe even in front of the school. I like that idea. So now this area's got enough coverage. You have this this post office here. We will place one here near the university. I think we have some bike parking there, so we wouldn't want to hit that. We'll place it right on the corner. Then we'll have one further in this neighborhood, and we'll have one further over this way. So now this neighborhood is covered. This neighborhood would need one. It'll be right here at the roundabout. There's one for this whole area. This neighborhood could have one on this corner. And it could have one over here by the main drag. If I place this maybe right next to that bike parking, that really covers everything. This might have the best postal coverage of any area. We haven't even put post boxes over on Sylvester. One day we're coming back to you, Sylvester, I promise. This area has no internet, which we could solve. We could do the Japanese radio mast is actually all we need. It could literally go right here, and it covers the entire area. Like, why would I do anything different? That's perfect. Covers all that. It doesn't get yet over to here, but if we build another one over here, this will have better internet than the downtown does. So there's no reason to complain there. And that's actually a beautiful building. How many people does this employ? 10? It's perfect. Right there on the corner. I love it. All right. This is looking pretty decent. We do have some slowdowns here because of people trying to cross. And I wonder if I want you to cross down here first. We'll let this road kind of be prioritizing the throughfare. You can cross over there, but then you can make another cross up this way. But that way this road stays somewhat open. If I wanted to separate this so that we had a separate turn lane, I think that would work out pretty well. We could do the same thing here going that way, although I don't know if we need it. I like having a turn lane there just because then we can separate out that traffic a little bit more. Right here, I think we do a turn lane here, separate out that traffic a bit more. Right over top of those train tracks. That's great. Right here, we'll do the same. Separate out our turn lanes. Yeah. I like that. Now what we're going to do is put some trees down. I think trees are going to go a long way here. It's going to make this actually look, you know, complete. So let's do that. Okay, so now we've got all of these trees in here. That makes it look so much nicer. There's still some detailing I got to do. I want to add some grass to some of these areas and just figure out some of the small details that need to be throughout. But all around, this looks pretty nice. Now we got to do our public transit. So we did build out, what was the line? Here's the line here. This is the Kent Emerson University line. This connects all the way from this train station down the main street of Kent and comes up here. And I don't remember who left the comment, but someone said that this line should actually extend all the way over here into this industrial area, which is now being called Cargo City, and I could not agree more. So let's go ahead and grab I'm going to use the bus stop that has bikes. I just think that works the best. We'll send that all the way over here, and then we'll also send one maybe right here into the center road. That one will then just turn around and come back down this way. Do we stop again on this road? I mean, we could stop right before the school, and then you could cross over into that parking lot area. So let's do that. This is not going to be the last stop now right here. We're going to send this up this direction, have it stop at that stop. Where'd it go? What is it doing? Why is it going back down around that way? Hold on. Get rid of that. This stop is then going to come over here and stop right here. No? Yeah, there we go. And then this is going to come up here and stop right here. It's going to turn itself back around. For some reason, it's choosing to go that way. I guess because it's faster? Don't really know. But we'll have a stop right here, which gives you this entrance into the university. But on the way back, I'm actually going to place the stop, I think, right here. Because then you have this entrance you can leverage for the university. Or you could get off here and just walk into these neighborhoods here. So that's a much better run for that line. I do think we need to rename it because it's no longer Kent to Emerson University. It's really Kent to Cargo City. So let's just fix that real fast. We have Kent to Cargo City. So now we have this bus line here. This blue line, which is from Sylvester to Kent. It stops here in Kent. I wonder if it continues over and goes up here into Forsythia, or if there is just a different line entirely. Because you know what really could happen here? Look at the traffic. All these people moving in, all these people trying to get into this area. If I just speed this up, it's gridlock. It's bumper to bumper. Look at this traffic. Also, look at all these people waiting. And yes, the stop is on this side. Yeah, visually it doesn't look right, but it does work. There's 145 passengers waiting here. Okay, I think we've got to rework this. There's got to be a better solution to this. I think what we could do, we definitely need a highway here. That's going to happen in due time. It's not time yet, but it's going to happen. I almost think there needs to be a transfer station in this area. There's a bus station. There's also this small city bus station, a small sunken terminal for buses. The above grade concourse allows direct access to the bus without crossing over traffic. I'm now intrigued. If we were to get rid of this section of Crescent, it could fit in there. There's a light here. This area could be commandeered. Let's just explore this idea. If I removed these 5 houses and instead we had this placed right here, if I turn everything off, I can sneak this in without ruining anything. I know I can. Anything more, at least. So now there's an off-road here for the bikes. Ooh, it would suck to live here now that you have this in this space. You done? You good? All right. If we were to have this sunken thing here, and I were to upgrade this section of road to just be a wall, I then also think what we could do, reduce this size, and let's just lean into the fact this is like a sunken thing, right? There's that. Before I do anything more with it, I do want to kind of apologize to all the residents of this area. So now we've got this sunken area here. I do also think if we're doing this, this needs to be upgraded to have an exit route that way, and that can be upgraded to have an exit route this way, no parking along that entire street. And then let's figure out how this works. So we could like take this Sylvester Kent route, for example. I'm going to remove everything from this. There we go. Put this back on. Put this back here. That gets rid of the Sylvester Kent connection here. There's also a Sylvester Kent connection here that now we've removed. So now Sylvester Kent does not come all the way up this way, which I have to fix because now I've messed it up. It's down here somewhere. The next stop on this line needs to come all the way up here and stop right here. Right? Then this line, at some point, it does also need to stop here. I wonder if it does that on its way back down. If it stops here, I think it does. And this is really just serving as a transfer station. So now we've got Sylvester Kent coming and stopping here, but then we also have the other line, the Kent Cargo City line, stopping here. Then what I think we do is we make a third line. And what we're going to do is we're going to go from here and we're going to send it over this direction. It's going to share these 2 center stops right along this main road. It's then going to come over this way. Oh, I didn't place any things yet. Okay. Place it right there and then send it back. Hold on. We're going to come back to this. If I just speed this up, this is terrible. You know what? This could also benefit from being upgraded. It could be upgraded like this, but then I really want to have more road here. There's already 2 lanes here. Everyone's just turning. What if this just became something like that? You can't turn there. There'd be no crosswalks here whatsoever. If I go and I just move this over a little bit, does that let me then upgrade this into this asymmetrical moment? It does. Yeah, let's get that asymmetrical moment. kind of all the way through here, no? Doesn't work there, but if I turn all this off, we can shimmy it inward a little bit. It's going to remove that building unless I do that. There we go. Gives me more lanes, which is helpful. Speed this up. Let's see what she looks like as she gets moving. Yeah, look at that. Instantly, we've solved the problem. And because people are relentless, it's requiring that I place some trees along here, so we will do just that. Much better. Much better. Okay, so back to our buses. We have this yellow line that's going to come over here. How is this going to work? Honestly, having a stop like over here is fine. I almost want to send it over this direction. Let's turn off the EU version. We could send a stop like right up this way and have it here. We would lose a lot of parking though, and I don't want to lose a ton of parking. So I almost think the first stop needs to be over here near this park. I might just do also the NA bike stop, just like this. So this will be the first stop on this run. The other stop is going to be right over here. There's no parking on this road anyway. So there'll be a stop right here. Then we need a stop to service this area. It's just going to be a signpost. There'll be one like right here. You turn back around. There will be another stop opposed this stop on this side. It can then come back down. It can also share this little section and then connect back up and in. I think that's perfect. It doesn't actually get over into this area, but honestly, this is such a short walk. I don't feel, I think, any kind of way about that. Let's get rid of any of the parkings along this road. I'm just going to put for now trees on both sides of this road. You can park anywhere else, but that's my two one-way roads. I don't want any parking on those. We've left some green space. We've given a little density to this. Let's just look at it without any of the labels. Yeah, we've given a little bit of density to this area. But we've also created a different style neighborhood, which I like, because you can see the clear difference between like the posh neighborhood over here and then this more just generic, regular neighborhood. The houses are much closer together. There's not as many trees separating the homes, whereas here, like, they're kind of drowning in the trees in a good way. And you're right next to this development. Now, if we look, the only real concern is the noise pollution, and a few houses do have some, but not much. Like, it's pretty well contained, so I'm not mad about it. I think that's pretty decent. Do we need to put any taxi stops? It couldn't hurt, right? Like, what if there was a taxi stop right here in front of the university? That would make sense to me. We could also have a taxi stop over here near our train station, right? That makes sense. And we could have a taxi stop kind of up here in this area near the rest of our main business strip for that neighborhood. Maybe we place one right over here. So it's along the side here next to the public market and also next to this tiny little park. The traffic does seem to have solved itself. A lot of that, I think, was people moving in, which we expected would happen. And honestly, I mean, this is the major thoroughfare from here into this area is that road, which does get quite small here in Pearl Street. So maybe, because we know a lot of people are moving in, we expand this road so that it's 2-lane this direction as people are driving into the city. Gives us a dedicated turn lane here. Even the pedestrians have calmed down with how crazy they've been, so that's good. Look at all these people moving around. Look at all these buses, all these trucks. This little neighborhood. It's just looking great. All right, guys, I think that's where we're going to end this part here. A quick shout out to my channel members. Thanks so much for your support. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in becoming a channel member, click the link in the description below to unlock custom emojis, loyalty badges, early access to videos, save game files, members-only content, merchandise discounts, and more. And until next time, leave your questions, comments, and feedback down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Lord, I follow your dad out. I can't have your tippy taps. I can't edit them out.